People don't know how much hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
What happened? Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Dog. It's yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. I hope everybody is doing well. This morning, I pray and hope. If not, things will get better. Things will get better. Things will get better. Um, I've been slow all morning and everything, so excuse me. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Just thought I set this thing up on this side. We gonna get it. Salute to brother Alonso Hall in the building. To you. This is today. This is number one grinder talk number 4. Number one grinder talk 4. And we're gonna I talk about some things. I don't know. I'm gonna have a panel discussion, but it really depends. But brother Alonso, if you still in the chat, if you want, I put it like this: if you want to come up, just let me know, and I see you through email so you can get on. That's the only way, we want to get on. Not send it through email. I'm not gonna put it in the chat and everything. So but I hope everybody's doing well this morning. And also one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. Oh yeah, so my eyes. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh yeah, before I continue, I developed. Oh yeah, I'm going to be on Twitch. All right, I'm going to be on Twitch, so I gotta finish that up and everything. So hopefully I get that running within 2 or 3 days and stuff. So no. Okay, if you like I said, if you want to come up now, you can. So we can talk about some things, so we can catch up some things that you're doing and stuff like that. I open it up, but only like I said, the only way people can get on is by email. I'm not putting it in the chat. So if you want to come on, just let me know, brother. No problem. No problem. I'll open it up today because I haven't, opened up the panel lately anyway. I just want to do my thing. So and I still gonna do my thing. But this morning, I was listening. I always, I'm into music. That's one of my loves too. That's one of my talents too. I listen to music. I can tell you the times and all that and everything. So, and I was listening to this group named Law and Order. They, I don't know they out of Philadelphia, but I know they're part of the Sounds of Philadelphia / South Soul Orchestra, South Soul Entertainment back in the 70s. And they made the song Law and Order. And that song really means that we told me we gotta live in harmony, live in peace, and stuff like that. And that be in paradise and stuff. And I found out we don't talk about stuff like that anymore. We don't talk about living in peace. We don't talk about our differences. We don't talk about families that we should be. We don't talk about the mother, the father and the mother and father and the kids working together. We don't stick to that true concept anymore. And then, for me, it's like tradition. Like I said, it seems like tradition is a curse and everything. And for me, it's that I know why, but why it's so hard that we talk about that? I know some people say, I don't believe in families and stuff. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because the way how things, I do get it. But even sometimes I say, ain't no such thing, fam. But for me, I gotta take a good look at it. Yeah, just gotta take a good look at it. So I gotta still fight for families too. I don't know, man. I'll just go back and forth and see everything works and everything. So excuse my manners and stuff. Okay, just check things out. So and it makes you wonder if these same people still want to fight for families, or they just gonna let things get rotten by day, by hour, by minute, by year. People don't even fight for relationships; they fight for other relationships that don't make no sense to me. Anything that they're procreation, it's a problem. People can say all they want and everything. You got men who not want to have kids. You got women that don't want it. They killing babies and stuff like that. And men is not being responsible, wrap up and stuff like that. And women want to abort the child. They want to kill the child if it's a boy. They want the kids so they can make money off them and stop the father from seeing them. And he's the sign of the last days, family. And we better understand that. Law and order. Law and order. So we gotta think on that, y'all. Gotta think on that. Hold on, y'all. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, so that irks me, y'all. That irks me. Really want to be in order, man. That irks me. That. They said they want to. I mean, so hold on for 1 second. So so let's pray. Um, try and get these people in. So back to this. Ooh, okay. So, Brother Alonso, you're still in the chat. I send the link to you to get on. But to get back what I'm saying is, I can say why we don't talk about it, but I can go all day. But we don't want to talk about because we don't believe in, we don't believe in certain things that God provide for us. You know, we don't believe that God wake us up. Only time we want when we want something. Then after we get what we want, we just vanished. That's the way it's supposed to. It's the way. No, no. So, no one else to conversate about certain things. Again, welcome to my channel, the underrated Dr. Short Street, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secret on social media, the best of the business. Respect my existence. Welcome. You got some who made the trees, who this and that, I understand. I mean, I guess I almost, but it baffles me that we know what's the truth, or we going to go contrary to it. We want to go against it. You got people, oh, I believe in God, but you want to go with you. You want to go somewhere that is sinful. I mean, we sin, we imperfect. Yeah, I'm not talking about, but you want to go to certain thing that is not good in God's eyes and everything. But we call ourselves, love God. Oh, people should do what they want. It's okay. Or not. I could say this, that it's not a good thing that you know you were sin, but you deliberately sin against God's eyes, what God see it. There are consequences paying for that, yo. It really is. You know? You got some people say, oh, don't call me that name. Call me a name that has an adjective or verb. Okay. You got people that among us they follow that. You know, you got some people like, they go to homosexuality parties and stuff, or go to drag queen parties. And they believe in God. Like again, it baffles me. It really is. It's like I said, I'm a heterosexual man. Heterosexual men. Don't be around people that are heterosexual. But can I tell people that, yeah, in around this world, there are certain people who make people happy. They want to go against God. They make it easy for them. Or maybe God gave you blessings, you did not take advantage of it. You know? And then we work all types of hours and stuff, tired. We don't enjoy certain things in life while other people just 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 sitting right there without doing anything. And I don't know. And this is number one grinder talk, number 4. No? I'm praying, y'all. Sorry. I'm praying. Amen. Okay. All right, we got Lala Hall in the building. Salute to you, my brother.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How you and the family doing? How you and the miss doing?
We're doing well. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you, but it's really low. I'm not sure why. Oh well, I can still hear you.
Slow? Let me check. Let me check.
Give me
Maybe
one
my
second. Let me say something. All right, is that better? I think it's on my end.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why my phone is coming in really low. Um, but yeah, in the middle of doing some admin work and stuff. So, but I haven't been around for a while and I felt bad. So I was like, you know what? My brother's on. Let me come show him some support. I know you don't mind. I know you understand we got life to live and jobs to work and all
Yeah,
that, but
yeah, 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 yeah.
I still want to come around and support because not only do you give us a good message, but you show support. Right? When I go live, when I have videos, I see you click the link, I see you click the like, I see you share them. You know what I mean? I hear you tell people go follow the brother. So I'm gonna support those who support me, and you definitely support me. So I'm definitely gonna support you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate. I just try to do my obligations. That I know that message that transformed to me, and wherever the message, the way I look at it is this: it's the message transformed to me. I got to do whatever I can to share that out so other people can get that. It's up to y'all to get it. Okay, right, exactly. That's your choice, but at least it's out there. So I appreciate you for the sentiment. But I'm talking about, well, really today I was talking about families. I'm talking about the mother and father, and also I was talking about why I can say why it's breaking up, and we, different things and stuff. And then I was talking about the song that I heard. It says Law and Order by Love Commitment. That's back in 1978. I heard a remix to it and everything. And they was talking about working in harmony and we gotta have law and order and we just coming together as human beings and stuff. and it resonated with me because that's one of my favorite remixes too. And so I'm really talking about that. So really today I'm just expanding on the conversation that we need to get back into that.
Nah, you're right. Um,
I
you know,
barely can
one
hear you.
thing for me, um, and I, I'm definitely an equal accountability partner in things, but I hold a lot of this stuff to brothers. And one thing that Big Duke, what's going on? One thing that Thank you, Big Duke. One thing that had hurt me a lot was I had spoken to my mother, um, and I'm just wiping the cold out my eyes and stuff. But I had spoken with my mother, and it is really sad to me because she, she was born in the '60s, late '60s, so she's in her 50s now, 55, 56 years old, and she's single. But a few years back, she was talking about me and my wife, and she was like, I don't know where you got this example of such a good relationship, and you're such a good man, and so on and so forth. And I said to her, I said, I don't really have an example of where that comes from. And the sad part is that the men in my family didn't give me that example. Everybody was a player, right? Oh, I got this chick and that chick. But now I'm looking at those men in my family and the relationships that they have with like my cousins who are their children. Well, there almost is no relationship because the dad wasn't around. So that law and order didn't get instilled into the children. You see what I'm saying? And so even in my own situation, like my father wasn't around, right? Now I just spoke to my father maybe 2 days ago on the phone. Now he's around and stuff, but it's funny because there's nothing he can do for me at this point. I'm almost 40 years old, right? I'm a 39-year-old man, right? So, all he can do is say, hey, I'm sorry for having not been there. But then I look at my brother who didn't really have the law and order. But again, we as the men have to realize that in our later years, this stuff takes a toll on us, right? Once we start hitting 50, 60, and 70 years old, thank you for putting my channel in the chat, underrated.
Anytime.
But once we start hitting 50, 60, and 70 years old, and our kids are done with us, our kids will never be done with their mother, no matter what, right? As much as we might, have issues with moms, people are never done with their mother. But people will be done with their father. And I think in terms of law and order as men, if we want that protection in the future, or that provision or that care from our offspring, we have to be able to point ourselves in the right direction while we're younger, while we're 25 and a dad, 35 and a dad, 45 and a dad, right? So that when you're 55 and 65 and 75, well, 55 you're still young, but 65, 75, and 85 as a dad, these that our children care about us and that they are willing to appreciate us, right? There's a guy in the YouTube space who goes around and shoot, let's even look at it like this with law and order. You look at our community, the black community in America, the worst thing in the world you could tell is your mama joke. But if you look at the rest of America or most other cultures, even outside of America, the worst thing you can do is a daddy joke. Or say your dad is a punk, your dad is lame, Your dad is this. People will be ready to fight and hurt you over their dad, whereas they're not really that willing to go crazy over their mom like we are in Black America. And I think that has to do with a lot of the law and order, and yes, the other things that were put in our way to separate the familial unit. Absolutely. Am I absolving the people who did those evil things? Not at all. But the reality is this: 2023 moving forward, bro, we got to do something, right? I'm about to be 40 years old. I can't see these other guys not doing what it needs to be done. What I need to do as a man and what we should start doing as men for law and order is shaming other men. When I see a man who, listen, I'm dealing with this girl and that one and this one and that one, bro, you're dirtying the waters for me. Right? Well, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm married. But how many of these guys do we know are out here single and they're not working together with their baby's mother? Like you said, that law and order. If you work together with the child of your mother, guess what? You're going to go a lot further, right? And then we have to realize no matter what we say is in terms of, they won't take responsibility, so on and so forth, it's a man's world. At the end of the day, we still run it, right? And so as we say things go, right? Maybe not heavily in the black community, but one of them things we can start doing is, yo, dude, why you messing with this chick and that chick and this chick? What about me? I want a chick, but now they're all sullied, and now they have a different view on life because you went and you did this, that, and the third, right? Child support. My father-in-law told me one of the best things when me and his daughter first started dating, not even when we got married, but when we were dating. He said, "You're not married to my daughter. I know y'all are adults, so if you have a baby with her, make sure that you take yourself and put yourself on child support. As a man, you have to CYA, cover your ass." And he said, "Listen, I understand this is probably strange because I am her father. And trust me, I trained her to not need you. But my wife is also a very traditional woman, and she definitely lets me know that I'm valued, and that I am needed, right? And I think that's one of the things. It does happen all too often. You'll have a lot of our women who portray that they don't need us, which is just unfortunately, it's a hard shell. It's like an M&M, right? M&M got a hard shell on the outside. Once you crack that shell, it's melty chocolate.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But you know what? I'm gonna share this with y'all today. You know what I mean? When I was talking to this, I didn't let her know because sometimes she gets worried about me because I live by myself and there's nobody like check on me. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about
Physically there, yeah.
physically dead. That's what I'm talking about. And I was thinking about my late mother, and I teared up, and I was hearing the things what she was talking about as a woman being accountable. See, that's what I see. This I want people to understand this too, that I come from a cloth. I come from a time that men hold men accountable and women hold women accountable. And I stand on that very, very firm on that. And she told me things that you're gonna when you grow up. I hope I be there. She lived long enough to see it, and we talked about it. But it's gonna be a time that you gotta stand up being a man. It's gonna be a times that despite your voice is not being heard, it's gonna be less than. You stand up being a man and you let that woman know that she's not willing to be your helper. She is not the one for you, my new baby. And that played on me and played on me. Again, I want people to understand this. What the brother is saying, he is absolutely correct. And certain things probably be a little different, but I understand what he's talking about, and I roll with him with that. Us as men, especially us as black men, we know there are strikes against us, but don't let the strikes get the best of us. Then we cave into this evil system. We have to understand that. Very loudly. Listen, anybody that advocate for the men, I'll also tell you, because me and him get, I can say we get into it, but we have our differences. But at the end of the day, that is my brother. At the end of the day, he is married to a black woman. At the end of the day, he believes in tradition. I'm with that. And there's nothing going to change that. So all this stuff is not in God's order today, or whatever it is. I'm not rolling with that. So this is the question I ask to the men. Do you want families? Do you want a legacy? Do you want to be the head of the household? Now, if that woman is not willing to be part of that, let it go. Let God deal with it. Because one way or the other, they just like, and I'm gonna tell the black woman right now too. I'm not leaving you off the hook. Y'all gonna face the consequences too. Y'all facing it right now when you're 65 and 70, and then you don't have no kids. You have a dog in the house, and then you have a big corporation. But we ain't get it up. But men, you gotta make better choices. We gotta make better choices, and we gotta be around people that like-minded, that willing to fight for families. There are brothers out here that don't want to fight for families, but you want to be around toxic people, men and women. I hear y'all. I hear black men going against black men. I hear that too. I'm tired of hearing that. Okay, I say it again, big dude. I say it again. So the way I'm at right now, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of y'all. It ain't all about I'm a big man or the hold on, big dude. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna send to it again. So
I'm also
so
trying to eat healthy, so I'm eating salads.
yeah. Show that salad, man. Yeah. Um, and then the ones that I miss, um, one that I miss, please, that's not my big dude. Look out for your email. I just send it to you, and and it's gonna be soon, women. It's not gonna be working in God's order, y'all. And I know people in this space do not want to hear that, but it's true. Just like men ain't gonna be want to work in God's order, and it's true. You know, hey, that's what it is. you know, you gotta get people. You gotta have. If we want families, y'all. We told we want families, and let me say this, and let me say this too. The ones who don't have families that had, well, I did have a son. He passed away in 2009. So, but I'm saying the ones who live single, a brother or I mean, man or woman in our community, it don't let nobody tell you you're not part of the family. You fight for families. You can fight for families too. You want a family too. So don't let nobody tell you, oh, you can't do that. No. You part of it too. You family too. You run a household by yourself. And that's not easy. I'm telling you, personal experience, it's not easy. You got to get up in the morning to pay those bills when you're not sick, when you don't have that significant one that's there. And I'm gonna talk more about that in the near future. It's not easy. When you pay that rent, when you don't feel good, when you go shopping, you don't feel good. You know. So, well, I'm gonna talk more about that too. I'll probably make it as a series too. You know. So we got Big Duke. I'm just saying like this, man. I didn't do nothing. I really didn't do nothing. I'm just saying the last time I did something, I didn't do nothing. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Big Duke was good. I'm making a chicken salad right now, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, okay. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was saying that I didn't. Me and you good. I'm healed up. Beat me up.
Go ahead.
I'm healed up from beat you pounding on me. I'm sorry.
What's
Feel
going
big
on?
one. Big one. Yeah, thank you.
I'm making a chicken salad as we speak.
Yeah, he eating chicken salad, bro. So, but I want to say this before. I'm glad that you up here, brother Alonso. And ladies, if you wants to come up, you're more than welcome to come. We drop up. I mean, want to come up. That I'm gonna do some promotion. Brother Alonso, I'm glad that you're here. I'm gonna do some promotion, but I'm gonna promote the ones that I feel like it.
Indeed.
And that's something too. I'm gonna promote myself though. I'm gonna definitely promote myself. But welcome back on Big Duke and everything. And Brother
Yeah.
Alonso, tell me what Big Duke, what you were saying. What you were saying, Brother Alonso Hall.
Yeah, no, I was just saying I'm making a little
Make it real
chicken
quick.
salad
Hold on.
because
Right.
well, ironically enough, salads are one of my
Oh,
favorite things. They
hold on a
became
second.
one of my favorite meals in New York City
Y'all go ahead for a
because
second. Go ahead for a second. I'm right here.
Okay.
Before I get in.
because you can make the deli salads.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Yeah. You fighting somebody? Something? What you put in the chicken salad, Brother Alonso?
Can you hear
Well,
me?
I bought a bag salad with just some mixed greens, and then I chopped up some onions, some tomatoes, some cucumbers,
Okay.
a little bit of carrots, um, and now I got this little baggie of like shredded cheese, and then
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I put tortilla chips for the crunch.
Oh,
And
okay.
actually, my mother hit me to something that's a vegetarian protein or a vegan protein
Mm-hmm.
because I
Okay.
have digestive issues, so I can't digest a lot of stuff. So she gave me mung beans, and she said this is a not only is it a plant-based thing, but it's heavy protein. So you know how people say eating vegetarian or vegan, well you got to eat meat because you need to find your protein. Well,
Mm-hmm.
apparently there's a bunch of plant protein in these things.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got
Can
it.
y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Now I just want to pick it back up what y'all were talking about earlier, man. For me, it's just that the constant bickering and moaning and crying about women day in and day out. I
Mm-hmm.
can't get with that. If that woman don't suit you or your following, move on. You know what I'm saying? You got to move on. But the constantly, so some of these dudes get up there and just constantly bicker, moan, cry about women that they're not with. That's the
Or
shit for
not
me,
gonna
though.
get with.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's a sad state of affairs. Because if you can get up here and bicker and moan and cry and weep and cry me a river and all that shit about a woman that you're not with, you're a lonely motherfucker, man.
Somebody just
You know,
you know what? I ain't mean to cut you off, bro.
you good.
I gotta say this though. It seems like 30 years ago on a prom night, they didn't get the right one and they've been bitter after that.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds that way.
Right.
And it's like, and it's see, and let me explain. Respect to you, OG Track. Always thanks for support. Thank you. And it seems that it's not really the small channels.
Mm-hmm.
It be these big channels. Why are you crying for?
It's
I thought
entertainment.
y'all supposed to make six figures. I thought you're supposed to have this and that. Y'all getting cash apps. Y'all getting all that, and you still crying.
See, here's the thing, fam. Let me say this. Let me say this for all three of us up here. See, when you represent something that's of substance, like Alonzo Hall do the insurance stuff, you know me, I represent the health and fitness and wellness, and you just hit everything with the spiritual side of the game. Here's the thing, fam. People not really don't want to see that because it's not entertainment. It don't represent entertainment. But when you get up here, even with content creators with big numbers, you know what I'm saying, they get a big draw. And they can talk about black women ain't shit, black men ain't shit, day in and day out, and it represent entertainment. And people want to see that.
That's true. People want to see that car accident.
Facts. Facts. You're right. You're right, Zo.
But now here's what's funny, right? Like, you know, somebody actually, another brother that we follow, Rael, that I associate with in these spaces. I said something to him to the effect of, "Listen, man, it's difficult for me to get a following because what I talk about is boring." And he said this. He said, "Hold on, I'm gonna correct you right there as another grown ass man." He said, "Yeah, all right. These cats talking about is boring right now, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to hear about it right now, right?" I was like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Now, when something happens and they need that check, it's suddenly not boring. Now they
Right.
they pounding your phone.
Right.
Hey man, I need you to answer this right now." But
Mm-hmm.
while you was trying to talk to him for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, everything else was more important, right?
That's all fight. That's all fight, no smoke. And it's the
Right.
same thing I be telling underrated. Like when me and him be talking, Zo. It's like I mean people hear what I'm talking about health and wellness and fitness and all that good stuff, man. And we don't want to be proactive and get ahead of the bell curve. We want to wait until you land on a hospital bed and then sit down and say, well, damn, I need to start thinking about life insurance. Let me email Big Duke to try to get Alonzo information. Real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. That's
Well,
true.
listen, you know what's funny? I had a young lady yesterday ask me, she goes, "Listen, because I was in the barbershop, you know, and everywhere I go, I talk about what I do." So I'm like, "Yeah, I sell life insurance." She's like, "Oh, you sell life insurance?" "Yeah." "Oh, let me ask you something." "Okay." "I'm trying to get life insurance for my boyfriend." "Okay." He's 44 years old." "Okay." "But everywhere else I go, they was telling me they can't insure him. I don't know if you can help me." I was like, "Well, I'm not the insurance company. I'm an agent, so I sell it. But what's
Right.
going on?" "Oh well, he's 44 and he just had a heart attack last year." "Okay, you can't get life insurance then." Not for a while after that heart attack. "Oh yeah, by the way, he's also currently in jail." "Oh
Damn.
man, he can't get life insurance at all until he's off papers. So forget about the heart attack. We got to get him off papers first." But it's an afterthought. If she would have thought about this when she first got with him, she knows what he does for a living. He runs the streets. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know he runs the streets. You got a 12-year-old child with him. So 12 years ago when he was 32, didn't have a heart attack but was running the streets, you should have thought about life insurance then. Everybody knows there's pretty much one outcome, especially for black men running the streets. We all end up dying, right? That's pretty much the only outcome for most of the time with black men running the streets, right? The reason I say that,
I ran the streets. It's part of why I sell life insurance now. Because in 2008, 3 days before Mother's Day, I got shot 5 times in front of my mother. That
Hmm.
made me hop out of the game and unfortunately think retroactively instead of proactively. One of the things that you
Right.
said though, Big Duke, that is terrible about a lot of guys is we get on here and we do think retroactively instead of proactively,
Facts.
right? So we got to react to stuff instead of, going ahead. I'll put it another way. I look at, and I'm not a religious person, but there's a Bible verse, Proverbs 13:22. Goes something to the effect of uh, a good man leaves an inheritance for his
Yeah,
children's children.
Hmm.
that's true. Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad you're here, Big Duke Alonzo Hall, because lately, the Miss asked me, excuse me, I noticed that you haven't done any men, so I did one last, like almost a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago. I said, you gotta understand, no support. I said, understand what I'm saying. And we all content creators, because you know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. You have the right attentions to do whatever we have to improve people's life, to transform people's life. You get up, you find the top, you find the title. If you find the title, y'all brothers, y'all do editing, so I still gotta work on that. Then you gotta find a thumbnail that match with that. Then you gotta let all this manifest in you. Well, I pray, so that's what I do. Then you do all that and everything, put your right intentions in it, that you know that what you have is going to impact men's life. And the ones that you invite, that's going to impact men's life. But none don't have it. So what you think I'm supposed to feel? So I feel like this, and I got this from Big Duke, and even the brother Alonzo Hall. They could tell you I'm not lying. They're on the way to do something else. Why are you putting yourself out there that people don't care? So I do that. So I do some things else. Well, I should.
Right. Nah, you right. You're
I
100% right on
should.
that shit. 100% right.
But there's some people, oh, you wrong under it. You supposed to represent. Why I gonna represent people don't give a fuck? Excuse my language, Scott. Why? Why I should? Why I should put my neck out for some men they don't they don't care. But I guarantee now when I do the choppers, I may be we talk and mother in talk. So I'm not gonna tell you everything because I'm not saying y'all in the chat, but when I was saying anything. But I know for a fact when them choppers stop popping and other stuff start to pop on my channel, watch them people gonna reach out. And they said it.
Hey, here's the thing about
Okay.
me, fam, is that, and Zoe, you probably can relate to this too. You know what I'm saying? There's so many words. Is that I have watched so many content creators try to take, because people watch. If they ain't watching it live, they go back and watch the replay. Try to take bits and pieces of your show and try to make it their own. You know what I mean? Try to take your word and then try to add a little bit something to it. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those things, like, if you can't go in depth with it, if your knowledge of trying to tell something is just surface level, you know what I'm saying? It's going to show. It's going to come out in the wash. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of big content creators, what they'll do is they'll come and parasite off the smaller content creators. They'll look and probably take something off Zoe and look and see what he's talking about. Okay, cool. I'm going to say this and say that. And with a little bit of knowledge I know, just come up with a show together. You know what I mean? With Underrated, do a little something like that off his shit, my shit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's all surface level. because they can't expound on it. They can't go in depth with it. They don't know any type of science behind anything. You know what I'm saying? And for me, you know what I'm saying? The funny thing about it for me is a lot of people don't, going back to being proactive, you know what I'm saying, instead of getting ahead of this thing. A lot of people don't like to sit there and change until they're laying in the hospital bed. They got an artificial foot and real damn toes. That's the only time. That's the only time they want to change. Is when they sit up there, laying up there with a fake ass foot and real toes. Then all of a sudden, it's what I need to do. What I need to do now. What I need to do now. Man, it's too late, fam. It's too late. That's not fair, man. Just go ahead on and chalk it up as an L, nigga. You'll be all right. Walk it off, nigga. Walk it off.
Yeah, and it's so true and everything. And okay, welcome to my channel, the Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the number one Grinda, one of the best kept secrets on social media. We got the one and only brother Big Dude, better known as Fourth Quarter Talker. We got the financial extraordinaire, brother Lonzo Hall. And you know what? Let me pay homage to your brothers, even some sisters in this space. I'm gonna do some promo because it's my channel, and I can do what the hell I want. If y'all don't like it, now I ain't talking about the ones in the chat, the ones in the clouds. Y'all can leave, blow away. But Big Duke here, right? He interviewed former heavyweight champion Ray Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
Underrated, you know stomach. You want to cash at me and make it look stupid? I bet you $1,000. Cash at me right now, motherfucker. And you know what? In this space, did not want to support it.
Right.
He had him twice.
You had Roy Mercer on.
I got his number. I can call him right now.
You call right now. And then where brother Duke worked at, Chucky. I follow Chucky. I was talking to Chucky on his channel. Am I right, brother Duke?
Yes, sir.
And me and Chucky supposed to head up with something in the near future, but Big Dude, he won't let me know whatever it is, stuff like that. I talk to these people. I talk to
Big T. Don't forget about Heartbreak Ridge, my man Pete Cotton.
Andre Riggs, right? So I've been part of this where I chat with these people.
Wow.
Yeah, underrated. I heard about you. How you heard about me? Big Dude, right? I told people about you. Told check that they like what you do. So understand what I'm saying. We got Jews in this space and we don't take advantage.
That's facts.
He did. He was talking to the brother right there, the former heavyweight champion Ray Mercer. You gonna tell me only 300 views? He called me off the horn. Oh, Brother Alonzo, I want you to hear me. I'm gonna get to you, Brother Alonzo, too. Brother Big, he said, yo, big bro, you gotta check this out. I thought he probably used to have had about maybe 600, 700. Even that's still low too.
Yeah.
It was less than 300. It was less than 300.
But what they don't sorry to cut you off though, Lonzo and underrated. What they don't know is, see, I can bring somebody bigger than that into the building. You know, like my homeboy, Phil Handy, the assistant coach of the Lakers. That's the shit that they don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I never was one to be caught up in names. You know what I'm saying? It's shit. Vince Carter addressed me by my first name. What's up, Big Duke? What's going on with you? But like you're right, man. In this space, it's about who you like and who you know. It's all about who you like. Cause people will try to motherfucker, nah, don't go over there, man. Fuck that shit, man. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. Man, people will do that. You know? They'll do that to you.
It's like I interviewed a ring announcer. They ain't even crack not even 50. That's on my other secondary channel, but I transfer that in wherever it is. But then I interview a former bantamweight champion.
Yep.
on my secondary channel. Don't worry about it. I'm finally gonna transfer. I'm gonna transfer those into this live into this channel in the near future. So you know what the problem is? We are missing out Jews in this space. Missing Jews. I'm talking about. Yeah, but here again. Oh, yo. Then you got Lonzo Hall breaking down the financial stuff that nobody on TV is talking about.
Nobody ain't trying to take advantage of that. And this man,
Nobody
long man, that's crazy.
in the space. So understand, fam. On my channel right now, we got a person here. Big dude do this for 25 plus years. We got Lonzo Hall been doing this almost 20 years of their profession. And they giving you free game and we still don't want to believe.
Mm.
And you wonder why the number one grinder feels the way he feels. And let me say this, Big Dude said I should put myself in it, so I'm gonna put myself in it. And you want to know how? Why?
Well, I want to piggyback off of what you and Big Duke were saying, because you guys mentioned something important, and that is you got guys who are larger content creators who come and parasite off of the smaller ones, even though they can't speak it. I'll give you an example. Big Duke, the other day, Super Bowl, I had ran upon your live,
Hmm.
and we were talking about, the breast of men or the chest of men, and how the dude had more of a breast forming or a move forming than a
Right.
chest, right, or a pectoral muscle. And he was explaining how the workouts to do to actually carve that pectoral muscle. He was like, when you do these push-ups, it's gonna stick out more like a breast, right? Um,
Hmm.
and then what a lot of these creators will do is they'll look at that. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have a fitness stream, and
Yep.
then all they
Yeah.
care about is doing push-ups, right?
Hmm.
But they won't talk about, well, what do you have to eat to recover from that? What do you have to eat before that?
Boom.
How many calories are you taking in? So on and so forth. I don't know everything about fitness, so I'm not gonna claim to.
Now you good to I'm gonna say this. What they saying is 100% right. You need to eat to sustain that size. But go ahead, finish. You finish. You got it.
But no, you're absolutely right. So to keep that size, you do need to eat. But what
That's
do you
right.
eat? Right? When do you eat it? Because all that stuff has a factor. And the only reason I know a little bit of this stuff is because my mother does she does physical training, right?
Hmm.
So that's the only reason I know that. But then I look like again with this financial stuff, and man, it's crazy. Like I've seen so many people. Like there's a dude right now. You know what? I'm not even gonna mention him because he's live as we speak, and I don't like to sully other brothers' names. But there's a guy out there by the name of Wall Street Trapper who he and don't get me wrong, he's got some decent advice. A broken clock is right twice a day when it
Right.
comes to investing and stuff. And I did a video talking about how he's frauding people by charging $3,500 per head to come to his master class. Yet he doesn't have a license, this, that, and the third. The Wall Street Trapper Defense Squad. Oh, you're just mad because you don't have the reach he has. You know how many black people he's helped? And I'm like, not many because you can't verify it. Right? And
Hmm.
when we're talking this financial stuff, unfortunately, we don't see the reality of it. So I'm gonna speak on a brother from this space, a brother by the name of Green Gorilla. About 2 years ago, he put out a video explaining the ownership of equities and mutual funds by race. This is federal government data, right? This he was able to get the data from Q4 1990 to Q4 2020. They usually rate it every 5 years, so we won't know what the data is for another 2 years, right? But Q4 1990, ownership of equities and mutual funds for blacks was 0%. Q4 1995, ownership of equities and mutual funds for blacks was 1%. Now, JT already knows this one, but Big Duke, give me your best guess. In Q4 2020, what percentage of equities and mutual funds do you think blacks had ownership
Shit. Let's go with 15%.
of? Nope, a little bit lower.
A little bit lower.
Hmm.
Damn. Let's go six
Got,
point five.
Nope,
take a guess.
still lower.
No way, fam. Get out. 2.5.
Lower. So, Q4 2020, we own 1% of equities and mutual funds. So, across 30 years, we made no stride.
Damn.
He said, all right, 2.5. Nope, 1%. So, Q4 1995, we broke into ownership of equities and mutual funds. Q4 2020, everybody's telling me, nah, I'm already invested. I'm investing in crypto. I'm investing in that. Not according to the federal government. The people who
Mm.
report the numbers. Right? So, what happens is there's a lot of misinformation that comes out. And it's harmful because we think we're doing something we're not, right? At least with physical activity, you can tell if somebody is or isn't doing physical activity, right? If I'm not
Right.
working out
Right.
every day, you wouldn't be able to look at me and be like, bro, there's no definition in your body. You haven't been working out. You can tell
Facts.
you
Facts.
have, but you haven't.
Right. Right. Right.
But unfortunately, with finances, there's no immediate way to just look at somebody and say, you're not following the financial advice, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, you know, lesser, lower income communities have two misconceptions. So, one of those misconceptions is that you're supposed to wear your money. And then the other misconception is that rich people don't wear their money.
Mhm.
Okay? Well, what do I mean by that? Well, we all know, Gucci, right? But we know Gucci as far as, lower income levels, right? But
Mhm.
if you look at wealthier people, they still wearing Gucci. Like, you ever seen one of those memes where it shows like a guy on the left and he's got on all the chains and the name brand stuff, and the guy on the right just has regular looking stuff?
Right.
And they're like, oh, this is why he's rich, because he spent $35 on a pair of Wrangler jeans from Walmart. No, he didn't. I work with the wealthy. Let me break something down. Wealthy people are label whores just like regular people, right? The only difference is they do not want to be a walking billboard. So they will not put themselves in a position where the shirt they're wearing says Gucci across it,
Mhm.
right? They'll only wear something that has a small, the small green and red, right, in the upper left lapel. So if you know it's Gucci, but that's gonna cost way more than the walking billboard item, right?
Mm.
But again, you've got people like, Wall Street Trapper, who will have the average American thinking he's helped them when he hasn't. Now, yes, you don't exactly need the license to be able to possibly be effective in investing in, purchasing stocks, trading options, commodities, etc. But that's just like you don't need, a license to sell real estate, right?
Right.
Wholesale. But if you don't have a real estate license and a realtor does a real estate deal and you brought it to him, guess what he don't have to do? He don't have to pay
We
you
gotta give
jack
you nothing. Right.
because you ain't got no real estate license.
Right.
Right? And this is what a lot of the people who go in, oh, I fix and flip houses. No, you don't. You try to find a deal and hope that the investor will pay you between $1,000 and $10,000 on that deal, right? So what happens is we get the miseducation and we run with it because it sounds nice, right? It's just like
Hmm.
if somebody told me, "Hey, Alonzo, you want to get cut? Yeah. All right, listen. All you got to do is every day when you wake up, just do 5 push-ups. That's it. Just 5 push-ups every morning, right? And all you got to do them is once a week. Take these 5 push-ups once a week on Sunday at 8 a.m. It has to be 8 a.m. If you do these 5 push-ups at 8 a.m. every Sunday for a month, you're gonna gain that weight you want, and you're gonna look like Big Duke, right? It's not
Right.
gonna happen 5 push-ups on a Sunday. It ain't gonna
Right.
happen, right?
Right.
But I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with it. Listen, man, Big Duke, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You just mad because you can't reach me like this guy, man. Listen, I'm about to do these 5 push-ups on Sunday, and then I'm gonna end up big as you. Well, no, you're not, sir, because
Right.
it's gonna take more than 5 push-ups on the Sunday. This is a lifestyle. This isn't like
Right.
a 30-minute workout video. So
No,
same
but
thing.
I'm gonna say this, Alonzo, to more your point, and I'm gonna say this. I gotta get out of here. I heard like we saying. I heard a bigger content creator actually say this right here to people who were just lacking knowledge. Eat whatever you want as long as you're active. I'm hearing this, Alonzo and JT, and just like if that's the case, there will be no such show as my 600 pound life. Go tell them that. Go tell them eat what you want and then be as active as you want. Hell, I had a show where I brought my man on. He owned a food truck, Big J. At the time, he was over 700 pounds. I could not tell him, just eat what you want. You'll train me, you'll be all right. He's already at a caloric surplus. I need to get him to a moderate to a caloric deficit to see some positive change. And to date, he's at 525 now.
Wow.
Great.
But the thing is one of those things, fellas, where like we talking about, Zoe was saying about the guy with the bigger name. I heard this country say that, and I was just like, "Are you shitting me? You putting that out there to the world to digest, man? And you saying that shit to people who just gonna hear you and probably follow that damn advice?"
Mm.
So anyway, I gotta get into this gym, fellas, man. This has been cool. I appreciate you, man. You
Thank
know what I'm
you.
saying? So
Appreciate
you know what
that.
time it is, man. No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. All right,
All
fellas. I'll
right.
be hollering at you, man.
Definitely. Keep up
All
good
right.
work.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Um. Again, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on social media. And we had Big Duke just left from us. He going through his thing. To me, Brother Alonzo. Brother Alonzo, are you busy? Are you busy? Or you can still stay on a few
I can
minutes.
stay on a couple more minutes.
Okay, cool. Just let me know. We cut that off, cut that short. You know. But the thing about also, I want to touch on this too, and I want to touch on this even like messages like this with Brother Alonzo, then number one grind and big two what we talk about. They don't share this out.
Mm-mm.
They
That's
don't.
true. Well, it's a threat, right? One of the things I've heard in terms of how that goes, like because right when you put out the substance, right, kind of like Big Duke was saying, you know, people are gonna want to hear that car accident or see that car accident. People are gonna want to go to the path of least resistance, right? So what's easier is me actually getting up doing the work like Big Duke and getting that body, or me saying, listen, man, I can eat whatever I want. I'm gonna still have a Big Duke body. I just gotta, you know, do the Atkins diet and cut out the carbs. But like he said, it's not just carbs; it's an entire caloric deficit, right? And I'm so glad he mentioned the guy who was almost 700 pounds and is now down to like five and change, right? So this is something that I usually like to mention to folks when they tell me, "Hey, Lonzo, I'm going to come see you when I get my money right." Well, that defeats the purpose of coming to see me. If you have your money right, then you don't need to come see me, right? Um, the idea is just like the guy who was nearly 700 pounds, right? If he didn't get with Big Duke, you think he would be 525 right now? No, right? He wouldn't go, hey, Big Duke, listen, I'm gonna wait until I'm carved up like you, and then I'm gonna come see you to help maintain this. Well, then he'd never be coming to see Big Duke because, like Big Duke said, look, he started off nearly 700 pounds. He's about 525 now. So this isn't like the TV show My 600-Pound Life, where all you're doing is working out and eating right and is for the show, and all you're doing is getting a surgery. This is real life, right? Where you got to still get up and go to work and stuff every day. Well, when that happens, it makes losing that weight a lot harder, which is why you need to go get with Big Duke before you think you're gonna lose some weight, so that he can help you to actually lose the weight. So it's the same thing with finances. Don't tell me, hey, listen, I'm gonna come see you when my money's right, because you're never gonna come see me because you're never gonna create those habits to get your money right. Now, what people are saying is they want to get to the point where they think their money is right, but how do you know what money? There's never a point where the money is right. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, 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 no. You're right and everything. I think what you're saying is true. It's very true. And also, too. Let me say this and go more on Big Dude's point too. I noticed this too because I hear it. Ever since you came to Pittsburgh Alonzo, nobody want to mess. I can say nobody. Majority of people don't want to mess with you. Now all of a sudden they in the bind, they want to come to you.
Hmm.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I want you to come to the thing. I want you to, and I know you don't have no problem sharing the house because you want us as a people to prosper, and think about life insurance. So I know that part. You don't have no problem, but I do have a problem with people. You want to reach out to people when you're in trouble, and that's our problem as a people. And also, we don't want to pay for our service. We figure, oh, yeah, I can give you this and that. No, Brother Lonzo has a business, okay? You want life insurance, you got to get that. You got to get that money up, or you want to be in the box.
Well, that's true. Um, but like you said, I don't have a problem sharing the information because I want our people to get it. But in terms of, so I will, in one sense, just give fellas an out in terms of when I first came to the space and them not
Yeah.
because there are a lot of fraudsters online, especially when
Hmm.
it comes to this financial stuff. So I'm actually glad that initially brothers was like, nah, prove yourself because there's there's Umar Johnson and Jay Morrison and all these others who, took advantage of the affinity of other brothers and, messed around and harmed us. So I don't mind earning my keep, right? But now, like you said, don't come see Brother Harmon when you're in a bind now and expect me to work magic, right? And like you said, listen, it's a business. Brother, you got to pay to play. you know, listen. I definitely want to give y'all the information, but I also got to be alive to give y'all the information, and part of that
Yeah,
means I got to eat every
exactly.
day.
You know, like for instance, I'm a brand. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy what I do, and again, I'm not complaining, but I know, brother G. I know you gave what you gave. I know, Victor. I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm just saying that if you want good content, you want good content. You sometimes you gotta pay,
Yeah, support your interests.
huh?
I said support your interests.
Yeah.
But what you'll see is, you know, you know what's funny? I'm gonna use one of the biggest content creators from this space, Kevin Samuels, right? And I've taken a look at his evolution because when I get into something, I tend to binge watch, right? So when I first started checking out Kevin Samuels, you know, at first the first thing that drew me to him was a brother was it was a brother in a suit and a tie. And that's one of my main draws. I like wearing suits and ties. So I was like, ooh, I like his style, right? Then the next thing that drew me in was, obviously the format of his show. And yes, he was talking to women, but I did some research and saw where he was talking to men. So, they got that one scene that they tried to misconstrue and portray him as LGB and all this other stuff. And if you look at it, yes, he asked the man about the size of his tool, but it wasn't just, "Hey, Mister Random Guy
We
on the
got to see you
street."
man off.
Yeah, he didn't just randomly ask about the size of the man's tool. He did that because he was asking, "What is it that you have to offer a woman that you got this whole list of demands?" you know. And then he was like, "Well, are you making money? No. Okay. Do you look like Idris Elba? No. Okay. Do you have a big tool?" right? It's like you got to give something, right? And you know, initially he was talking to men about improving ourselves. And another reason I know that is because I called into his show after he started talking to women, but he said, "Men, are you ready for your high value wife?" And when I called in, I explained to him I'm already married and I embodied everything of the high value man except for the financial aspect because I wasn't pulling $10,000 a month every month for the past 3 years. Right? I'm getting there now, but I wasn't there then. And I realized that his show started exploding because a lot of guys in the space were truly not supporting their interests, they were supporting their egos. What I mean when I say that is, and don't get me wrong, because I was one of those kind of dudes too, right? I call them the "where's my hug at" ass dudes who were, in high school, in middle school, whatever. They weren't the most popular guy. They weren't the jock. They weren't, the star quarterback or the star point guard or whatever. And so they didn't get all the attention from the girls, right? The most they could do is be like, "Hey, Melissa, where's my hug?" I was one of them dudes. I was a "where's my hug at" ass dude. So I understand that now, as you move forward in life, you've become, the all star quarterback. His peak was high school. Your peak is now when you're 40, 45. Cool. But instead of feeding our ego, paying Cash App for Kevin Samuels to attack at those women, we should have been paying Kevin Samuels to do a lot of his series is like stuff like he had a series Your Father Should Have Taught You This, right? Where he was telling men, hey, listen, here's how you wear a suit. Here's how you tie a tie. Here's how you wear cologne the proper way, right? Um,
Yeah.
those are things that are valuable lessons, but the men in these spaces did not want to hear that. They wanted to hear, let's attack the woman. And like you said, we need to be big on, listen, if I'm a man, I'm gonna hold another man feet to the flame, and I'm gonna expect a woman to hold the other woman's feet to the flame. Because I don't know what the woman's life is like, because I'm not a woman. So I don't know what it's like to be that, right? But I do know what it's like to be a man in a society, specifically Black America, that is very matriarchal, right? And that's fine. We can have a matriarchal society because I come from a matriarchal family. And what that's one of the things that I think the men in these spaces need to realize. When you come from a matriarchal family, you understand this whole quote unquote gynocracy, and you also realize that as a man in a matriarchal family, you are held as the what a lot of guys call themselves the prize, right? Because all the women are coming around to protect you. Now it's on us as men to stop making the boneheaded decisions and getting with the type of women that we're getting with. Because just like there were some guys who were skipped over in high school and middle school, you know what else was skipped over in high school and middle school? Certain
Well,
ladies, right? So we can't just act like, hey, you know, Big Booty Judy abused me and da 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 da. Meanwhile, there's also, uh, Natasha the nerd, who, she had, bifocals in high school, but now that she's 40, you know, she she done filled out her figure. You know what I mean? And so now you look at her and you're like, wait, that's Natasha the nerd from fifth grade? Yeah. Oh Lord, she done filled out nicely. Hold on, let me go talk to her. Well, she ain't gonna want to talk to a certain type of guy either. And the unfortunate thing, however, is I think there was a rapper guy. What's his name? Wallow. He rocks with a guy named Gilly the King. And then actually it's on coming up on 12. I got to get going. Um, and he said
okay.
something that made a lot of sense. He said black women, ironically enough, in American society, have consistently had to date down. And I didn't understand what he meant. He said, well, back in the days, working, working, working. That's what a man was doing. We was working, working, working. And then we had, oh, the streets. And once the streets, we wasn't worried about work. We wasn't worried about going to school. Listen, man, I'm out here getting this money in these streets. I don't need to get an education and none of that. So the black woman was like, okay. And while we were out there working and getting this street money and basically just dying and going to jail because, like I said, if you go to Google, Colombian cocaine cartel hid $80 million of drug money and life insurance. Meanwhile, the girl who I was talking to yesterday didn't even want to go to Google, but her boyfriend is probably in prison for selling cocaine. Ain't sold a kilo, but he's in his 40s. Probably been selling cocaine since I was a teenager. In fact, I know who he is. He has, and he's not sold a kilo. Right? But we'll take around and look at that and not even realize that these black women, while we were running the streets and doing 4 years in jail here, 2 years in jail there, well, they were getting their education on. Right? So they were learning stuff, and we dropped the ball because we ended up not learning anything, having no skills, no trades, right? And so now, in the 80s they came back and they was like, all right, well, y'all did jail and all this, and let's see if maybe we can still give y'all a shot. And then we screwed it up. So now they're at the point where they're like, you know what? I didn't see my mother, my grandmother, and my great grandmother get screwed over by giving brothers a chance. Yo, you got to be a complete package when you come to me. I'm not even dealing with that.
That's
And
cool.
I see that it's not fair, and I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but I understand why they would do that. And after he broke it down, that's what made me understand, wow, that makes a lot of sense. So brothers, we gotta, we gotta, we gotta get ourselves right so that we can grow. And it starts with stuff like supporting brothers like the number one grinder, right? Because this brother right here, as an elder statesman of the spaces, he promotes family values. And that's one huge thing that we need is family values. But listen, I gotta hop off. I gotta
All right, make it.
get back.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you know that I appreciate you.
No
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying? And make sure to take care of you and everything. And make your last remarks.
Well, you guys know my stuff, man. Work in progress every day and see success. And when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute. I'll see you later, brother.
All right, peace, bro. Thank you as always. That's my brother Alonzo Hall. Shout out to brother Big O in the building. I see you in a while. Peace and wisdom to you back and your family. Yeah, and your families. Yeah, thank you. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah, I'm not gonna be here that long myself because I don't. I'm a little hungry. I need to have some food or something, man. But I don't know who do this. But salute to you, Big O. Thanks for coming. Very much appreciated. You know, I'm sorry. Let me salute to the chat, man. Salute to the chat. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to y'all. And I'm sorry. Shout out to Big Dude and give him a cheers, y'all. All right, all right, all right, all right. You know, and let me say this though. It's critical out here. There's a lot of devilish stuff that's out here. But as a heterosexual person, we got to stay strong against this. So let's work on that, yo. Let's work on that. Let's work to bring our family back. Let's work on. Man, let's check men, women check women. It's very important. Very important. I might do another one later on. I mean do another one. I might come up with another live later on. Maybe 2.5, 3 hours. It depends. Um and shout out to Big Duke, shout out to brother Big Duke, and shout out to brother Alonso. Thanks for blessing to be on the panel and give us some great information that we can transform our lives. And the ones that is missed, y'all know who you are. You know, y'all can go check it out. Please hit the like button, share this out. If anybody that wants to donate, you see it flashes right there. Cash App, $ capital JT53000. Also have PayPal, it's paypal.me/JT Black 53. Also in caps. So on behalf of my channel, The underrated dog is yours truly, the #1 grinder. One of the best kept secrets on social media. Believe that. Respect my insistence. Most likely you might see me back later on. But all I know, just remember, be a winner. No matter how much you have or how much you don't have, you're still a winner. All right? Remember that. Remember that. This one is Ghost. Be well.